Hey, hey, everybody. Gonna get started here in a few minutes. Doing what we've been doing recently, just coming on early. I'm prepping a few little balls of yarn for some of the upcoming rows. I don't know when I'll get to them. It's not gonna be for a couple more days, I think. I'm making little balls out of this little miniature skein that I got from Hobby Lobby. It was the cutest little mini thing ever. I was gonna get some yellow from the Dollar Tree because I know they sell smaller skeins, but I saw this one at Hobby Lobby and it was the color that I wanted, so I was really happy that I found it. So I'm just making a couple little balls of that. Let's see, it's 6:26. I got about 4 minutes before I start working on the Tapestry Crochet along here. So if you are joining, hey guys, good to see you in here. Hey Karen. So good to see you guys coming in. So if you're just joining in here and you are wanting to work on this crochet along, or if you need to catch up and you're on TikTok, over on YouTube, all of my lives save. So this will be, I think, part 4 of the Tapestry Crochet along. Thank you for the heart, Karen. How you doing tonight? We got snow. Oh no. Oh my gosh, hold on. I'll say my weather related thing here in a second. I just caught the edge of my incredibly sharp, let's see, look how, I mean, these things are like lethal. I just caught the edge of that on my yarn and I thought I was gonna tear it up. So we've got some snow. All winter long we went with hardly any snow, and then last night it started snowing a little bit, and it snowed all morning. It was so cool. We had inches and inches of snow. It was amazing. And then the sun came out at like 2 in the afternoon and most of the snow is already melted. It's insane. That's one of my favorite things about Colorado though. Snow doesn't stick around forever. Hey, Writing is Fun is back. Yay, yay. You do your volunteer work on Tuesdays, don't you? All right, so what do we got? 6:27, 3 more minutes, and I'll get ready for the crochet along. Yeah, snow again, but for us it's good because it only snowed 4 other times. Oh, you guys, I keep, like, my chats are over here. Yes, Mr. Double, yes, in May. But I forgot I have a camera here so I can look at you now. We did get some snow. I think it only snowed maybe 4 times. And maybe only 2 decent snows. There was hardly nothing. We're in a severe drought. All over Colorado is in a severe drought. So I was really excited to get snow, even if it's as late as May. So my lilacs are going to have to figure out what to do now because they were already blooming. And it froze a couple nights ago and killed them. All the leaves are fully out because our spring came super early this year. It's pretty crazy. Hi, Angel. It's good to see you. Thank you for the heart. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Oh my gosh. All right. So 2 more minutes. Angel Heart says lilacs are my fave. I agree. Lilacs are my favorite too. I love floral scents except for lavender. I don't know what it is. I want to like lavender so bad. It's in everything. But the smell of it smells musty. It doesn't smell clean. Like other floral scents have a sharp, even like rose, which is, I think, kind of a softer scent. Even rose, to me, smells crisp and fresh. But lilac or lavender smells like it's been sitting in a sock drawer or something. So Angel Heart doesn't like the smell of roses. I've heard that before of other people too. I like rose, I like gardenia and jasmine. I got really lucky because most of the things they make floral perfumes out of are my favorite, minus that lavender. Ugh, ugh. And now they put it in coffee and stuff. Has anyone tried that lavender? Well, I know that Starbucks had one. I don't know if they still have it or not, but let me know if you've tried that lavender drink. It just sounds nasty to me. Although some of my new favorite treats are Sakura flavored Kit Kats. I got some at H Mart the other day. I was going through the Japanese Kit Kat section. Japanese food is some of my favorite, and picked up Sakura ones. My son's like, Mom, it's going to taste a little bit like flowers, but I didn't think it did at all. I thought it was so good. Angel Heart says, yes, that's so good. Yep. Writing is Fun says, Yesterday, it was writing cards for graduating Girl Scouts. We do many things. Midwest in my area had nice heavy rain a couple nights ago. Oh, that was so you guys get together and do volunteer work or do activities like that, right? That's really cool. That's very cool. My mother killed our lilac bush on Sunday. I'm so sad walking past it. Oh no, Mom! Is she sad too? Does she love lilacs? I would be sad too. Oh, look at that. Hey, little bird. Good to see you. Yay! All right, I'm gonna get started. So, I am on round 19 now. I'm going to try to... Last night I stopped and yacked a lot and also found myself having a hard time counting, and I shouldn't be having that big of a problem counting. So, little bird's here. Little bird, who was it on Monday? Writing, was it you over in YouTube? Who said, little bird, where are you? Thank you for the heart, little bird. So you were missed on Monday, little bird, too. All right, guys, so I'm going to start row 19 for those of you who are working on the crochet along live or who are watching in my saved videos later, which, again, thank you so much for doing that. I appreciate it. We're going to get started, and the colors for row 19 are terracotta 5, linen 23, black 1, terracotta 22, black 1, linen 23, and terracotta 5. So I'm going to start by doing my 5 terracotta stitches. And I think I'm going to try something tonight, which is I'm going to do my stitches, get my color change situated. Like here, I just did my first 5 stitches. I'm getting ready to do 23 linen. Wait. I've got the front of the pattern, and I almost just put my yarn in the front. So if the front or the right side is facing you, or if you're working on an odd row, that's all the same thing, then carry the yarn behind. So now I'm going to set up my next color and check my chats. So I'm trying to not be as confusing with this as I feel like I have been. All right, let me get one stitch in there. Did my 5 terracotta. Oh, Karen's under a tornado watch. Ooh. Yeah, there's been some crazy weather already out there. And Erin says, hi, little bird. Angel says, oh no, stay safe. Yeah, you guys. Little bird, I work Sunday through Tuesday 12s. I stay caught up though. Yeah. Where are you at? What row are you on right now? Writing is fun, Shed. She thought it grew too big and would damage our water line. You know, yeah, that's a real thing. This house that my husband and I have out in South Carolina, it's a rental house, and there's a tree in the front yard that makes these crazy roots, and we keep hearing from people that they're replacing the tree because it's going to get into the water lines. And I think it's like I want to say Japanese red maple. I can't be positive. I know it was a cute tree. I know I really like it, but we may have to rip it out at some point. So unfortunately, the bush, in my opinion, if I thought I was going to ruin the water lines, I'd have to go with Mom, but it would hurt my heart so bad. So bad. All right, now I'm going to do 23 linen. Oops. Look at that. I'm not set up my little basket system. There we go. I didn't get any. This is the first time I've picked up any crocheting today. I've a couple times sat down. I sat down to work on the giveaway blanket, and I was like, man, I just can't count right now. I just didn't have it in me. So then I thought I'd work on my little Jeep mosaic blanket, which does not require near the amount of counting. And I picked it up, and I also went, ugh. So this is my first crocheting today. And why is it that even when I don't feel like crocheting, if I start crocheting, it's always like so, I don't know. It's like once I start it, then I don't want to stop. And that's the way I guess I feel about cleaning my house and stuff too. Sometimes getting the motivation to start is actually harder than doing whatever it is I'm going to be doing anyways. Little Bird has been in my fan club for a month, which means I've been doing lives for a month. This is fun, you guys. Actually, I mean, I've really enjoyed doing it. So, and Little Bird likes the basket system. Yeah, this is my favorite favorite way to do this too. I've done the other way with just having things lined up. I've also tried the clips. That didn't work for me, so this is what works for me. Writing is fun says, adults caring about such trivial things is understandable but saddening. Yes. Yes. The older I got, the more expensive the house repairs became. And damaged water lines can be thousands, if not tens of thousands of dollars. So it's sucky. It's sucky, but it happens. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, to have all of our fun money get sucked up in fixing other things I think that's what makes moms go crazy sometimes too. It feels like we're always watching money just go down the drain, and I know that's not what the intention is. My kids never meant to do anything or break anything, and I didn't mean to do things and break things when I was a kid either, but it's hard. It's hard when things just cost so much anymore. All right, I just did 1 stitch of black. And now I'm going to do 22 terracotta. Hey Cheryl, good to see you. Welcome in. We're just working on the snake plant crochet along. Oops, come here, buddy. My hands are tired today. Work started getting a little bit busy again. We go through busy and slow seasons. As an accountant, our busier times are around tax season, although my company doesn't do taxes. So we get pretty busy around tax season, but then even during the off season, well, it feels like when I get a new client, I'll get 7 new clients all at once, and it won't ever just be one at a time. I would love it if they would just drip in one at a time. They don't. But I also enjoy a good challenge. So it's fun to have times where it's slower and then it starts to get busy and then I feel super important again, but then I don't get to crochet as much as I used to. One of the things I'm struggling with in Floral Fantasia right now is how much recording there is, and I think it's because I'm like just now working on my 50th round, so all these rounds have been 10 or 15 minutes long for the most part, and I feel like I'm just crocheting 3 stitches and then it's time to time myself or record a stitch or, record a thing. So I cut out the part of my videos where I show what each stitch looks like when it's completed, because I've shown a million of those. Now I'm just listing the stitches. I'm trying to do things to kind of minimize the amount of recording and editing, because while that stuff is fun, I'm also, busy with my other stuff and I won't be able to put as much attention to it. So if you start noticing lesser amounts of videos where I'm covering more and more rounds, that's why, because I may not be able to video as often as I want to. I need to do 22 terracotta, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 8, 10, 1, 2. Okay, this is 22. Little bird, oh, you said 49. I totally missed that. I was going to ask you again, what round are you or row are you on? So you're already doing the leaves. What do you think of that part? Has it been like a ton of color changes? How many balls of yarn am I looking at coming up? Writing, what round or what row are you on? And Karen, did you get any more work done on yours too? Just kind of curious for anybody who is working on this. Let me know where you're at. And if you're watching this video later on YouTube, comment. Let me know where you're at too. All right, so 1 black is the next stitch. 23 linen. Hey Lily, good to see you. Oops, I keep forgetting to move my stuff. I'm so much more distracted. When people are watching you or whatever, it's so much more distracting to do stuff. So here we go. Oh my goodness. So I'm not even following my own rules about how to be careful not to unwind your yarn. None of these things are hard to do. I just actually have to do them. Oh, you know what? You guys have to see this. Oh yeah, Little Bird says you've having some trouble with the 1 and 1 and 1. Yes, those are hard when you've got a bunch of just ones on top of each other or going out next to each other. So if it looks at the end of this, if it looks a little bit scraggly or messy, something you can do is go back over and slip stitch. And I might actually do this. I'm thinking about actually getting a thicker yarn, like a weight 6 yarn. I don't know, that might be too chunky. Just getting something thicker than this and actually slip stitching around the borders here, you know, because look, even here, this is not perfectly, none of this is perfectly straight, right? So I'm thinking about going through and slip stitching across the top and just kind of evening some of these edges out just for a cleaner look. Let me know what you thought about that. Bloodshot Beauty is doing the Monarch Butterfly Cardi. Monarch Butterfly Cardi. Oh, I bet that's gorgeous. Every time people come in and tell me the projects they're working on, I'm like, just the names of these are so beautiful. I want to see what that looks like. You got the whole back panel done. I would love to see that. If you are not a private account, if you have a public account, could you, and if you make videos about the cardi that you're working on, would you go tag me in a comment or something on one of those videos so I don't forget? I always want to look at people's stuff, but when I get off of TikTok, I can't find a place where it shows me who I was chatting with. So I'm always having to try to remember names and stuff, especially if you're not somebody that I chat with all the time. So if you have something like that, I would love to hear it. You said yes. Okay, awesome. Little Bird wants a tag too. Gotta weave in the ends. Karen hasn't worked on hers. You're waiting on the bobbins. That's right. Karen's gonna use bobbins. All right, I'm getting ready to turn. You guys, when I finished my 23 linen, then I did my 5 terracotta on the border, and now I'm going to turn my work. Rearrange my baskets, cross off where I'm at. Yesterday I almost repeated an entire row because I had forgot to cross off what I was doing at the time, and I think I'm getting far enough along where I might be able to start weaving in some of these ends down here. I will always leave some ends up, although I got enough balls of yarn now, it's kind of easier to tell where things are connected. So I'll start weaving these ends in soon, and I'll probably just do that off camera. Nobody wants to see that. All right, starting row 20, we are doing 5 terracotta, 23 linen, 1 black, 22 terracotta, 1 black, 23 linen, and 5 terracotta. So I'm going to start with my 5 terracotta. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't realize that writing wrote back. No pun intended. Writing is fun is on row 12, but also woefully tired right now. I don't know why. I might just pack up my yarn, finish my homework, and sleep. And you should do that. Did you end up seeing my post? No, I did not end up seeing your post. YouTube didn't notify me. I know I subscribed to you. I assume that they notify when you get a new post, but I will go look for it afterwards as soon as we're off. So no, I didn't. I will absolutely comment though after I get a chance to look at it. Bloodshot, thank you for the follow, and tagged you in one of my beginning updates of it. Sweet. Thank you so much. I'm actually really excited to see that. Very excited to see that. All right, I've got my 5 terracotta done. Let's do 23 linen. I like it because it's the same number I just did, so I know I don't have to count it. I'm in the easy part of the pot where it's going up and down, so that's easier. And I'm also super tired today with you, right? I mean, I feel like I'd say I'm tired every day. That's just the old lady in me talking, I guess. But I also, like tonight, about an hour before I went live, I told my husband, I don't know if I can do this. I'm really tired. And I ended up just sitting on my bed for a little bit, and I played a sorting game. A little game where you have to sort things. It's ridiculous, but it helps my mind just relax. And then I was listening to my audiobook, which I am listening to Pride and Prejudice right now. And I'm just at the part where we're beginning to suspect that Mr. Darcy likes Lizzie or Elizabeth. So that's what I did. And then it totally refreshed me. Bloodshot Beauty says, I'll post the whole back panel in a bit. It looks better with the whole thing. I'm very excited to see that. Thank you for sharing so much. Little Bird, did you get snow? We did get snow. So we got snow and it's already almost completely melted off. I'm so disappointed. I love the snow so much. I don't know our official totals here. I think it might have been about 5 inches, but because it's been so warm, we had more like days in the 70s in January and February than I've ever seen. So the ground never really got super cold. Because it's been so warm, everything was melting as it was falling. So I think we were supposed to have gotten 1.5 inches of precipitation, which would have been, what, like 15 inches of snow if it wasn't so warm and compact. And so now all the roads were already clear by this morning. While it was still snowing, the roads were just wet. It was nice enough to drive around in. So that was nice. All right, let's do the one black. My grandsons live out of state and they live in the South. And so my son called me today and he's like, you guys are getting snow, right? And he wanted me to FaceTime because they're trying to impress upon the kids that we live pretty far away because they always want to go to Mimi and Papa's house because we used to live in the same state as them. Even though they've all road tripped out here, especially the younger one doesn't understand how far away we live. The older ones do. But they're talking to them about the difference in weather. So it was kind of cool. They were getting ready to go on a nature walk. And then I got to go outside and show them all the snow and all that stuff. I'm pretty sure it wrecked a bunch of trees. A bunch of people were without power today. But I live in a neighborhood where all the power lines are buried. So it didn't get me. Writing is fun says it's just a minute walk. What's a minute walk? What am I don't make sure I understand that. Sorry, you guys, if I ever am not sure what you're talking about, I'm not good about just being like, oh, that's nice. Like, I definitely want to know. So I want to make sure what you're talking about, unless you were telling me that your post is just of you doing a minute-long walk, in which case that makes sense. And oh, to your house from theirs. Yes. Oh my gosh, they think it is. They do. It hurts my heart. Okay, so that makes sense now. I thought you were saying your post was you taking a walk, and so I was getting confused there too. Did I say already I'm doing the 22 terracotta? I don't know if I said that. I know we used to live in the same town as them, and they used to get to come over every Friday, and it was just so much fun. So the things change. I'm hoping they get to move out here at some point. Sonia is in TikTok. Speaking of my family, my daughter-in-law just joined. Sonia, I was just telling everybody about how we got to FaceTime this morning and show the boys the weather here, and about how the youngest boy still wants to go to Mimi and Papa's house, even though we're so far away now. So, all right, so let's do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay. And Sonia, you can see I'm not working on David's blanket right now. I am working on the crochet along blanket. David's blanket is one that will get worked on privately again. And I'll probably do videos about it though, because I'm really liking the way it's turning out. I haven't been able to work on it since I started this. I have 7 blankets in progress. I had to do the baby blanket for Bree. That one had to be done. And then I'm also doing a graduation blanket for somebody else. So those took precedence over all the other gifts that weren't due until later this year. All right, we've got 1 black. Now I'm going to do my 23 linen and 5 terracotta and finish out this row. This will finish out row 20. Move to the Colorado snow now. Yeah, so Sonia over on YouTube, Writing is Fun says you need to move to the Colorado snow. She would love to. She's got family out here besides me, her wonderful mother-in-law. Her sister's out here, and her mom's much closer here than where she is right now. So I sure would love it. Just have to wait and see what happens. Little Bird says, all my younger grandchildren are in Minnesota. What? You have grandkids? I don't know about that because I've seen videos of you. And I don't remember you looking old enough to have grandchildren. I just found out yesterday that Karen has grandchildren with wives. And I was like, oh my gosh, I guess that's going to be me in a couple years though. My oldest grandson is, oh my gosh, don't do this to me, 8 or turning 8 this year, I think. That's the other thing too. I'm starting to say, I have to think about how old everybody is. It's what happens. It's what happens when you're a grandma. All my younger grandchildren are in Minnesota. We FaceTime daily. I do love the technology, and I have 8 grandkids. Oh my goodness. Hey, Xandra, good to see you. I don't FaceTime with my grandkids every day, and part of it is just the time change. It sounds really weird, but like when I'm up first thing in the morning, you know, I get to work, I do my stuff. By the time I'm off work and I'm done with my day, it's like dinner time where they are. And then when we get done with dinner time here, it's bath time where they are. So they have an iPad, and then in my phone, they're saved as boy's iPad. So they get to call me and FaceTime with me when they want to. And I love it. I absolutely love it. But it's hard to find times where I think that they're not going to be busy. And then lots of times I think about like, oh, I want to FaceTime them now. And I look at the clock and I'm like, well, it's 9:30. They're in bed. So little birds, oldest is 17 and youngest is 3. Lucky you. Lucky you. I have 4. And my youngest took her first steps today. So Xandra's here. Xandra's here. Writing is fun said, I would hollow my bones to fly above the ground and earth. Skies above, reflecting water below. Ooh, that's pretty. Did you write that, or is that something that I know you quote a lot of literature, and it's stuff that I don't know, and it's always so pretty. Or I assume it's you quoting stuff because you've told me like that's something from here or there, and it's always so pretty, and it always makes me feel like, man, I'm not very well read, and I am very well read. It's just there's so much stuff to read out there. But I do like poetry, but I don't read a bunch of poetry. So I do like it when I run across it, but I've not really gone out of my way, aside from my semester of poetry class that we took in high school. Oh my gosh. Aside from that, I've not been exposed to a ton of poetry, although it is beautiful. It just came to mind. I should probably write that somewhere more permanent. I absolutely would. I would if I were you. That's gorgeous. Oh, you guys, do you remember me telling you that I don't know if you remember this. I was telling you it felt like the skein of this terracotta was really thin. This one feels really thick. And this is a different skein. What in the sheesh? Okay, so I've got 2 skeins of the exact same color that are noticeably different in thickness. That's kind of annoying. Oh well. Yeah, so over on TikTok, you guys, we have on YouTube, when you hear me talking to Writing is Fun, they are a writer, believe it or not. They write stuff. And they said, I would hollow my bones to fly above the ground and earth, skies above, reflecting water below. Isn't that pretty? Everybody tell Writing is Fun how pretty that is. I'm teasing. It is pretty, and I know it's pretty. All right, so I did my 5 terracotta. Now I'm doing my 22 linen. Last time I only had to do 20, or I had to do 23 linen. So this is going to be 1 stitch short. You know, I am just distracting myself to no end tonight. So I'm going to do 1 stitch short of where I was on my in the row here right below. This is how I get to avoid counting. Little Bird says it is pretty. And you should write that down somewhere more permanent. I wish I had thoughts like that. Lots of my thoughts are, what? You cannot write that off. This is not a write-off. I think that so many times per day. Are you kidding me? This is not a write-off. And then I moved to okay, what are we gonna have for dinner? What's already in the freezer? What do I already have out? And then it moves to, okay, so now I'm cooking this. Everything goes in this order. Like everything in my mind is, I feel like I'm so preoccupied with the present. I don't get as much time to daydream as I used to. I used to write a lot of limericks when I was younger, though. I loved limericks. All right, so 22 linen and then 2 black. Let's bust those out. But limericks are one of those things that I wasn't able to just speak them. Like I'd have to sit and think through things that rhymed. I got pretty good at them. I'm way out of practice now, but it was one of my favorite things to do in high school, which was write limericks for my friends, funny limericks. Little Bird says, I notice how you hold your hook and the angle you work stitches, no leaning stitches. Okay, I have heard that about leaning stitches, and I've seen people where all of their stitches in this row do that, and then going backwards. Do you think that? Is it because of the way that I hold my hook? Do you think? I honestly have never really thought about it. The way I hold my yarn, and I think this was just probably shown to me when I was younger, because the person who showed me, I wasn't with them very long. It was a couple day foster care situation. So I don't remember too much about the learning part, but I thought everybody held their yarn this way until I started getting on TikTok and YouTube and was like, oh my gosh, I hold my yarn a weird way compared to everybody else. And then with this hand, I do hold it like this. And I think I used to hold it more like this, but I would get wrist cramps and hand cramps all the time. Like the insides of my hands would be just on fire. So I took a blanket. One time I was going to work on a blanket, and this was back when I was making very, very simple blankets. And I just made up my mind that I was going to change the way I held. I was going to put no pressure at all on my hand. So my hand here is barely gripping. I don't even know if grip is the right word here. My fingers are in position and the needle is just not falling out because the finger in back and the finger in front are offsetting each other. And then this guy is here keeping it steady. And after that, I'm just, I don't know, moving my hands. I feel like I'm just twisting my wrist a little bit. And I more feel like I'm just guiding the yarn, guiding the hook rather than using the hook. I wish I had a better way to describe that, but I have hardly any tension at all in this hand, which is why when I tell you guys I hate doing front post puff stitches, like on that last giveaway blanket that was won by Living Unbothered. I don't think you're in here right now. I got a lot of, oops, I was at the end of my ball there. I just ran out of yarn as I'm talking. Let me grab another one. Ta-da, like magic. I already had some pre-balled up. When I was working on that one, and it had all these front post puff stitches, like front post stitches in general, you're already doing some of this, but on those front post puffs, and I'm trying to pull up 7 or 9 loops on my hook. Oh my word, that was awful. I felt so bad every time someone's like, oh, those white stitches are so pretty, and I'm like, I know, but they're awful. Those ones actually hurt my wrist. There was no way to lightly hold my hook. I had some terrible tension on those. And then they would have the audacity. I'd get all of the loops lined up on the hook, and I'm trying to pull the one loop through to complete the stitch. And then something gets caught up, like it always does, right? So every third one of those, I'd have to completely undo it. It was 14 inches of yarn per stitch. I kid you not, I measured it. So I'd have to undo that one stitch and then redo it and try to make sure that I could pull my hook through the final part of the stitch. It was awful. I'll do a video one day showing you guys how horrible that stitch is. Little Bird said I'd be good at amigurumi. I probably would. I just don't know what I would do with them after they were made. So it feels like one of those things I would be making it for nothing. So I don't even know what I would do with it when it was done. Hey, Melissa, good to see you. Good to see you. Welcome in. Writing is fun, says my thoughts are so scattered I cannot keep them straight and focused. So my husband is like that too. I don't have that, attention problems as much. But one thing that he does when he feels like there's too many things, and especially as you start, like, because you're in school, right? And you're in Girl Scouts, you've got all these things going on, side activities that you do, homework is due, got to do my chores, got to do this, got to watch my baby brother. You've got all these things going on. And if you feel like you're forgetting stuff, like he would just carry a notebook, or, you know, you're not 85, so you could just carry your phone with a notes thing on it. Just dump that stuff out of your brain, and get it down somewhere so that you don't have to ruminate if you're worried about forgetting, if that's the kind of scattered attention you have. If you don't, then don't listen to my advice. But that helped him. So 22 terracotta, 1 black. Little bird says, writing is fun. I have biology to research for and some geometry. That should be all. In Spanish class today, I chased a balloon for maybe 13 minutes and the teacher just let it happen. Notebooks are better. Chased a balloon? And what level of Spanish are you in? Or is chasing a balloon like some Spanish learning app or something? That might be like part of I don't know. School has changed a lot since I was a kid. Not as much as it changed for other people, but it has changed a lot. We did have internet. We did have computer lab. We had that kind of thing, but definitely no Chromebooks. We had, you know, there were certain classes you had to carry certain notebooks for, whatever, but nothing like what you guys have. I feel like there's so many learning things. Plus you guys have all the online grading. Kids in my day, we didn't find out what our grades were until progress reports came out. I was, of course, a perfect child, so I was actually a straight A student, so I was never worried about my progress report, but I can imagine how the other children felt. Hey, Anna, good to see you, and thank you for the heart. I'm glad to see you in here, too. Again, seen you the last couple nights. What are you working on tonight? Or are you just going through surfing on TikTok? Biology class. Man, I miss school. Not because I was cool. Remember the straight A thing. So not that cool kids can't get really good grades, but I was not one of those ones. But I was loud, I was obnoxious, and I did have fun. I used to wear like weird outfits and stuff, that kind of stuff. I think looking back, I probably liked the attention. Actually, no, I definitely liked it. I didn't do that because I didn't want to be noticed. But yeah, I wore funky outfits and did all that stuff, but I was just never really rebellious academically. And I didn't do too many things rebellious as a kid until I hit my 17s. 17s was not a good year for me. Kijo Massey says the good old days. Yeah, were you from the good old... Is that how you say it? Is that Kijo Massey? You said the good old days? Is that... I assume you're from the good old days too? The days before everything we did was recorded forever and ever on the internet, and we could do all the crazy stuff and tell the stories, and then our kids are like, are you kidding? Because some of the stuff that we did and we got away with back in the day, we only got away with because they didn't have the technology to catch us yet. So writing is fun says level 1, it was a literal balloon. We had Cinco de Mayo celebration. Oh, a day late. Kind of missed not knowing. Now I stress over why my A+ is an A because of a misgraded assignment. Yep. And also when your teachers don't put your thing in, because my kids, when they were in school, we did have the online grades. I could see all that stuff. And so I'd be like, tell me why you've got a D right now. And why are you missing these 9 assignments? And my son's like, Mom, the teacher has not graded them yet. Then I email the teacher and it's like, oh, it honestly makes me mad. I'm not a teacher, and I'm not trying to bash teachers at all. I don't have that job. It sounds not fun. But it was hard because I couldn't tell if my kids were lying to me or if they truly, like the teacher just wasn't entering something. And then you email the teacher and you don't hear back from that teacher. So I wish that they had, with all the technology, I mean, why can't stuff somehow be zipped through a scanner that grades it? I don't know. I guess it doesn't work for things like essays though, does it? Kijoma saying, yes, I'm from there. Okay, you're also from there, from the good old days. And one day these days will be the good old days, and all the younger generation will be talking with their kids and their grandkids about how things were back in their day. And just like my parents did and my grandparents did, you know, and I'm thinking, gosh, the 40s, that sounds like the 1940s was so long ago. And now it's really a long time ago. Yeah. Oh, you're an educator. Yep. Kijomasa says, I'm an educator and things are so complicated these days. And you guys have like all this bureaucracy that you have to go through, and you've got to try to please the parents, follow a teaching plan. I cannot even imagine the stress. All right, so you guys, I did my 5 terracotta. I'm working on my 22 linen. I'm about to be at the end of that. Oh, and that is one less than the round before, so I don't have to count that. Yeah, I don't even think that there's a perfect solution for everything going on, except for to go back to the good old days. Writing is fun says, my biology teacher started class with, nobody got an A on the test. Pause. Or an F. Pause is even longer. Or a D, C, or B. What'd we all get? What'd we all get on that test? No, yeah. So you, and I'm not even in education. It's obvious to non-educators. You guys got a bunch of stuff to deal with. You have to please everybody somehow. Oh my gosh. Anna says, working on this plant, watch YouTube to catch up. You come on during dinner time. I know. I feel like there's no good time to go on because of time zones and that stuff. And I probably am if you're in the mountain time zone. I'm during a lot of people's dinner time here. But going back to my earlier conversation of me being from the good old days, my bedtime is much earlier than it would be for a normal person. Little Bird says the benign of boomers and Gen X, or benefits of boomers and Gen X. They'll have video though, yes. So I am, oh, you're in California. Oh yeah, so yep, we're coming on right during that whole time. It's right at 5:30. And that's actually, my dinner time is usually 5 or 5:30 because of the timing of this and the timing of my somewhat early bedtime that we are not going to mention and laugh at. All right, so we did 1 black. Actually, I started to do 2 black, so let's back that up a little bit. Do 1 black and then 23 terracotta. So this time, I think I need to actually count when I get to the end of this row, or to the end of the terracotta, and just make sure I only have 23 in here. So I'm on that cusp between being a Gen X and a millennial. I'm in that little couple year period where I can identify from videos, like if Gen X are saying, oh, this is how it was. Yes, that is how it was. I do remember that. And then millennials say, oh, this is a very millennial thing to do. And I'm like, well, yes, that is me too. So I got born on the cusp. And then my first child was also born on the cusp between millennial and Gen Z. So it's just different. It was so different between him and his younger sister, who was 7 years younger than him. Just even watching the whole school process and just the slang, even. It's so crazy. It's changed. Writing is fun said she didn't grade it yet. Why, I wonder, does she enjoy this form of unusual punishment? She's a wonderful educator nonetheless. Kijo says technology isn't helping. The children are researching their answers to their homework, and at testing they know nothing. We're in the same age range. Okay. Yeah, I will tell you, I actually the other day started forcing myself to do some more math in my head. Technology is ruining me. I think the other day I was adding like 46 and 31, right? This is not a number that I should have need to whip out a calculator for, but I did the math in my head and then doubted myself and double checked it on a calculator. So as an accountant, by the way, I just want to point that out, a very good accountant, but technology does all of the numbers of my job. That's why we can be so accurate at what we do, because I don't have to rely on my human brain, but also I started realizing, oh, I'm letting this go to waste. So now I'm starting to do more math in my head. I'm doing these little sorting game puzzles, word puzzles. I do all sorts of stuff. I'm trying to sharpen my mind again, because I think if you don't sharpen it, you're going to lose it. And I don't want to lose it. Anna's all boomer. Well, I think technically I'm supposed to be Gen X, but my dad was a boomer, and he was also on the cusp of his thing. All my generations are right on the edge of these things. We never fit firmly into one of the genres. All right, let's do 23 terracotta. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. 1, 2, 3. Let's do that 23rd stitch and move on to 2 black and then 22 linen and 5 terracotta. I'm just saying those out loud because I'm not going to stop and talk about color changes here. This is all easy stuff because now I'm just following the numbers line up with the row below, so I don't have to count anything here. Come here. Karen, if you're still in here, I had a question for you, but dang it, I think I just lost it in my head. That's my favorite thing about being in the mid to upper extremely late 30s. So I'm in my mid 40s, and I feel like I'll have a thought and then it will leave before I can say it. Like, it'll be in my brain and then I can't remember what I was gonna say just 2 seconds later. And I know this happens to everybody, and I know it can happen during different times of stress or, you know, things like that. But I definitely was used to having a much sharper mind. I didn't say all the time. I find myself constantly saying or I can't think of the right words for things. So I'm like trying to describe, like, if I don't know, maybe I tell my husband I have a bruise on my shin, and if I can't think of the word for shin, I have to say the sticks that hold up your legs or that hold up your feet or whatever, you know, and I'll just say stuff like that, and he has to guess what I'm talking about. So he's getting really good at charades or whatever the game is where you give clues and you have to guess what the thing is. He's getting good at that. Sally is the silent baby boomer generation. So Sally, you're on the cusp between silent generation and baby boomer. Is that what you're saying? Oh, let's see. Writing is fun. Said I have a final test for driver's ed tomorrow. If I pass, I likely won't have to take any tests at the DMV. Very good. Very good. There's no material to study for, just memory. Uphill with a curb means turn the wheel left. Very good. And what do you do if you're pointing downhill? Or do you guys have a law in your state about downhill? I'm from the generation where driver's ed was done at school. And one of the teachers was the driver's ed instructor, and it was just part of school. That was one of the classes we signed up for. So that was fun. Good for my parents. And then when my kids got older and I'm trying to sign them up for driver's ed at their school and they don't have it, and I find out it's a $600 class, that was a little bit of a shock for me. You know, times have changed. Kijo says, thing is, you did do the work first. You double checked with the calculator. Yes, so I did do the work first, but what scared me was the fact that I didn't trust my answer on something simple like that. And I'm not talking anything where I have to carry the one. It was literally 31 plus 46 or something like that, where thinking about it, I was almost embarrassed. Like, why couldn't I figure this number out? And I could figure the number out. I didn't trust my brain on the answer. So I used to not be like that. Writing is fun, tends to avoid using calculators until I check answers for math. I doubt myself when I'm correct the majority of the time. I may be a tad stressed all of the time. If possible, well, you know what? Telling someone to calm down doesn't work. Calm up. Keep it up. Because people who are stressed all the time work really hard too. And people who work really hard can frequently be successful. It's not an always thing, and it's not everybody who's successful worked for it. And it's not that everybody who's not successful didn't work. So I want to make sure that I'm being really clear on that. But I think that you would find the people around you that work the hardest get the farthest for the most part. And I believe in hard work, and it has paid off very, very well for me. I work hard at everything I do. I try my best at everything I do, because otherwise, what are we doing it for? If I'm going to just do kind of a mid job, go to work and just be blah and pick up my crochet and just do some blah work, and I just live in my blah house with my blah life, or I have to live the same amount of hours whether I'm trying or not trying. So I prefer to try because usually I amaze myself, and I think that you will too. You probably do amaze yourself pretty often. Little Bird says, look into lion's mane. It's amazing for memory and cognitive. Have you tried it? Are you doing like the ground up powders, or my husband and I have looked into some mushroom stuff. So, and I didn't think about mushrooms for memory. Let's see. Kijo said almost everything was included. I didn't have to pay for driver's ed either. Yep, it was just the thing. I mean, I honestly wish they would still do that. It's kind of crazy that they don't. Writing is fun said, write for the rest. Actually, it's a graduation requirement of my school. One of the teachers, there were two, is my behind the wheel instructor. Oh, okay. So it is a class at your school? Maybe the reason why it's not a class here is I just live in a different state than I grew up in. Maybe I misunderstood. I'm sorry. So just let me know if this is a class at your school after I just got done saying, oh, they don't do that at school anymore. But I've seen on TikTok other people post videos about, didn't this used to happen? Didn't we used to go to school for this and now they're making us pay? So I just kind of assumed, oh, it must have been not that I moved to a different state, but that things changed in the 20 years since I had been in school. Hey, Maya, good to see you. Little Bird says it comes in capsules or gummies. I prefer the capsules. Can't type gummies. I figured gummies. Whenever possible, I try to correctly interpret misspellings because my iPhone has got an attitude problem recently. It wants me to look like an idiot, and it's working. So I have so many spelling errors, and I'm kind of getting to the point now where I'm like, I don't care anymore. If you can read it out loud or it makes sense, then I'm just going to leave it. I got other stuff to do, unless it's the text to a client. All right, so we did 22 linen. I'm going to do 1 black. Pick him up, move him, switch to terracotta. We're going to do 24 terracotta. So I'll go through this. Oh, Kijo's in the Midwest. Okay. Oh, so many people in here from the Midwest. Writing is fun says, yes, it is a class. I'm in a study hall until the end of the year since it was a 1/4 class. 43 minutes of reading in the library. Yes, please. There are 2 parts of driver's ed. Okay. And I agree with you on the I would take 13 minutes of reading. I love reading, man. I love reading. And the cool thing with it is you are exposed to words that you might not otherwise hear or see. Also, if you don't read, I think that's where people don't learn what words are. Like some people will say, oh man, help me think of an example. Chest of drawers. This is one I've seen a TikTok on recently. They're like, am I the only person who thought it was called a Chester drawers? And it's because they've never seen the word chest of drawers written out before. So I had grown up reading a lot of books. I devoured books as a kid. And so I'd heard things like chest of drawers. And because I also read a lot of older books, I know a lot of some of the older ways that they used to talk and stuff like that. So it just doesn't sound weird to me. But yeah, I think that reading plays such an important part in your cognitive development. And then also, honestly, in general, just knowing a good amount of words and sounding like a smart person. All right, 24, I believe was my number. Let's check. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, this is the right side of my blanket. So you get over here. Actually, this basket's full. And we have 1 more black, 22 linen, and 5 terracotta. So I don't have to stop to count anything for the rest of this. I love when I get to the end of something where I can just kind of blank out for a few seconds and finish it up. When I'm working on the Floral Fantasia giveaway blanket, sometimes there's sections where you can memorize some of the stuff. I mean, some of the rounds are I have a ruler sitting there and I'm reading out loud to myself every stitch that is happening. And then some of them are like single crochet in chain one space, front post single crochet around next stitch, repeat 84 times. And it's like, okay, I can do this. Those are my favorite. Writing is fun says, I learned so much reading Anne of Green Gables. I'm thinking Little Women is first on my list for summer. Please read Little Women. Please, 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 please read Little Women. It's my favorite book. And I'm not even joking. So I just got done reading the Anne of Green Gables series again, or audio booking it now. I don't have time to sit with the book, but I just got done listening to Anne of Green Gables series again. And I went to replay my Little Women book on Audible. And it has a download and a playback error. I've owned this version of the book for years, like right after Audible first got started. And I think, honestly, they didn't want to renew the license for the book. So now, of course, I can reach out to them and they'll get me another thing, which sounds horrible. But and I want the exact version of the book that I always listen to because now I hear it in that narrator's voice and it's so soothing. But please read Little Women and tell me what you think. And it will make you want to be a good person. It makes me want to be a good person. I read the book and then I want to go around and pretend like I'm virtuous for a couple days. It's amazing. Little Bird says, those are movie time. Oh, Little Women. I would give anything to be reading Little Women again for the first time. There's a couple books I would love to read again for the first time. Anne of Green Gables is one of them. Have you seen the Anne of Green Gables series? I know there was one on Netflix called Anne with an E. Real people know that one's an imposter. If you can find the original Anne of Green Gables series that I think was made in like the 70s or 80s, oh, it's the best. And it was pretty true to the book, if I remember. Writing is fun says, I already want to be a good person. I do too. It's much easier to want it than to be it. I feel like I'm a complainer too much. Actually, not even feel like, I know I'm a complainer too much. So that's my thing I've been working on. Is trying not to complain as much. Okay, I just finished row 23. What time is it? 7:22. I'm going to whip out another row super quick. I don't want to stop before 7:25. Come here, buddy. I'm going to start with my 5 terracotta, and then I'm going to go into my 22 linen, which is the same number of linen stitches I just did below. So I won't count them because I don't have a problem with dropping stitches. I don't usually suffer from that. It doesn't mean I never do, but I very rarely do. So I trust myself enough to move forward. Oh crap. This last string. These last 2 strings, I put them in the front of my work instead of in the back of my work. But luckily it's like right here. So you can't see that, can you? It's like 1/4 of a millimeter away from, so I'm just going to pull it over because my rows line up. This yarn doesn't have to drag in order for me to pull it to the front. So if I had to drag it across anywhere, then I would clip the yarn, thread it through the back way, and then just reattach a new ball is what I would do. But this one, you shouldn't be able to notice that I've done that. And again, it's because the stitches line up. I'm picking up the linen directly from the stitch below. So right where it ended was about where it needed to pick up anyways. Okay, yep, that works. Hey Cheryl, good to see you. Writing is fun says, no, I really want to ever since I got super into the series, but I don't have time for TV series. I get that. I haven't played a video game in a couple weeks, the last being Animal Crossing. Oh, well, and I remember when you were playing. Yeah, it has been a few weeks. You know what? I mean, it's not a bad thing to have so many things that you want to do. And it actually, sometimes to me, if I have too many hobbies or too many things I want to do at the same time, I will get frustrated because I want to do them all. Which is why I started picking up books that you would listen with your ear like this. Listen in my ear. What's the word? I have a family member. Help me. Audiobooks. Oh my word. Sorry. My daughter's over here looking at me. Yes. So that's why I started picking up audiobooks, because I can crochet while listening to audiobooks. So now I get to do two of my favorite things at one time. And also I can do things I don't love, like wash dishes or clean a toilet. And it's so much easier to wash dishes when Anne of Green Gables is playing in your ear. But I understand the thing about not having a bunch of time to watch a TV series. My husband and I are watching Game of Thrones again. And it's been like 9 months and we're on season 3. It's slow going, you guys. There's not a lot of time. Okay, so I did 1 black. Now I'm going to do 24 terracotta, which is also the same number that I did below. So I can just whip those out real quick without counting. And at the end of this row, I will be done. So, and I know there's a slight delay between what I'm saying and when you guys actually hear it. So I'm going to start saying goodbye now, even though I'm not actually leaving yet until the end of this row. Because I always feel like I'm like, bye, and I cut everybody off. And then everyone says goodbye in the chat right after I leave, and I feel like a jerk. So, hey, Katie, good to see you. Writing is fun says, I miss all the things I haven't done recently, but I've been crafting and baking and reading and all these amazing things. I don't have time to be sad about it. I don't have time. Maybe make a schedule. Come up with your favorite things. Like, okay, here's the 2 crafts I want to work on every day, right? And even if it's only 15 minutes a day each, or even 1 craft, maybe 2 is a little ambitious, but maybe you could make a schedule. It's kind of what I do when I have too many whips going on. Like right now I've got the 7 projects I'm working on, and I got to get some of those. It's stressing me out to have that many open projects. So now I'm devoting all my extra time toward clearing some of those whips out of my pile. And then I get the satisfaction of cleaning that up. But I also don't have so many hobbies. I guess I just have only a few hobbies. So you have a unique problem. You have too many things that you want to do. And make tea. That's right, you drink tea too. What kind of tea do you like? All right, 1 black. All right, I'm going to do the 22 linen and the 5 terracotta. Hi, Katie. So, and when I'm done with this, I am going to be leaving. So in case you guys didn't hear me, have a good night, but I'm not actually leaving yet. And thank you everybody for coming in and hanging out. It's really helpful. Oops, come on. Writing is fun, likes fruity tea. I burnt myself to blisters last night. Yeesh. I like, there's one by Celestial Seasonings called Bengal Spice. So it's like cinnamon and cardamom and stuff. I really like that tea with hazelnut creamer of all things. The 2 of those things together just taste so good to me. And I drank a ton of it for a couple of months. And then I kind of got sick of it and I just haven't picked it up again. I need to pick it up again because that was very good. I liked that one. Anna says, I read 30 minutes during lunch hour, yarn projects from 8 to 10. Oh, so you've got yours scheduled out too. I think if I were to ever retire, I would probably have to make some sort of a schedule for myself. I just feel better when I'm following a schedule. I'm such a lemming. Tell me what to do. Let me follow the rules. I just need to know what they are. All right, writing is fun. That's the brand I buy. I should try that type. I have 80 bags to get through. So the Celestial Seasonings factory is right outside of Denver in Boulder, and I've gone to it twice to do the factory tour. It's the coolest factory tour ever. So if you ever come to Colorado, if anybody here ever comes to Colorado and you like tea even at all, even if you're not a huge tea fan, do the Celestial Seasonings tour. It's free. It's so much fun. It's really, really interesting. And that's where I got to sample the Bengal Spice. They let you sample all this tea and stuff too. It's really cool. So, yeah, Crafty Anna says I'm an empty nester, and I also am. So that's why I get a lot of stuff done too. Oh, my daughter says, Mommy, I'm still in the nest. Sweetheart, you're 19. So I have a very large bird still in the nest, but 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 when I think of empty nester, I mean, I don't have little kids to take care of. There's nobody out there that needs me to make them a meal anymore. So it's nice to be wanted. I miss it. Now my husband's like, what? What about me? All right, I have 2 very large birds. Guys, it was so much fun chatting with you tonight. Thank you for coming by. I'll be back tomorrow, same time, 6:30 Mountain Time for me. So do the adjustment. Oh my gosh, writing is fun. Found a dead baby bird the other day, or a day ago. Yeah, I'm sorry. It wasn't mine. Mine's right here. So you guys have a good night. Thank you for coming by, and I'll see you tomorrow. And writing, I'll go look for your post.